Lenten greetings to you all. I've been preparing these few words while listening to various commentaries on Russia's attack on an entry into Ukraine. I listen and look in sadness and with a certain disbelief that in 2022 a foreign power can apparently unilaterally decide to attack and move into a sovereign nation. Depending on who you speak to, different arguments are put forward to explain or indeed justify what is happening. This reminds me of an album put together by the singer Emily Sandé called Our Version of Events. So often the truth is based on our version of events, on how we see and interpret things. Whatever the truth might be regarding what is happening in the Ukraine, Pope Francis has rightly recognized that the peace of all is threatened by partisan interests, and so he appeals to all parties to refrain from any action that will cause even more suffering to people. Interestingly, in 2020 and during the time of the COVID pandemic, Pope Francis wrote a letter to all his bishops on fraternity and social friendship. In the letter, entitled Fratelli Tutti, all brothers, Pope Francis reflected on both truth and war. Leaving aside for now the famous quotation that Pilate asked Jesus, "What is truth?" Pope Francis states how together we can seek the truth in dialogue, in relaxed conversation, or in passionate debate. Truth is not to be found through violence, force, or war. This brings me back to an old memory of my being in a car with a married couple, one of whom was Catholic and the other was Methodist, and we were going to an interfaith conference somewhere in England. I remember in our conversation, sitting in the back of the car, asking a question similar to this. For the sake of your marriage, the love you have for each other, which, if any, of your religious beliefs would you be able to set to one side? It turned out that there was really very little about their faith that they felt they had to insist on. For the sake of the love that they had for each other, they could, at the very least, agree to differ. Think about your own family or friends and the religious or moral beliefs you have. Do you feel you could put to one side, if only for a short time, your beliefs for the sake of keeping a good relationship with your brother or father or friend? I'm not talking about giving up your beliefs or your moral positions. I am talking about not letting them come between those you love and you. The way I see it, wars can happen in the home among individuals, groups and nations when there is a failure to dialogue or even a failure to agree to differ. Talking about war, there was a time when the Church defended what it called a just war. The idea of a just war first appeared in the writings of St. Augustine of Hippo almost 1600 years ago. Certain conditions had to be met before going to war. The aggressor was going to cause lasting, grave and certain damage. War was the only way to defend oneself. There was a reasonable chance of success. The end was proportional to the means used. In these present times, Pope Francis has come to the view that war can never be thought of as a solution, and that the risks associated with war invariably will be greater than the supposed benefits. In his words, never again war. Have a good week and make peace, not war, with those you meet.